I am the Gummy Reaper. Share your gummies. Share. Or face my phasers. Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo! Well, trick or treat to you, we've got another video for you today. This one coming out a little bit later, I think like 4 or 5 p.m. Central Standard Time because, well, we did a live stream today. But in the live stream, we also had to make a video and then also prep for another live stream later today on Twitch. Oh my gosh, I work so much. But I do it because I love you. And I really do love you. Just like the little TikTok girls who do the little heart thingy with their fingers. Like, oh, look how much I love you, something. I don't know, whatever, it's not TikTok. But I want to talk to you about the trick or treat event, which, if you remember, last year, I called this one of the best events the game had ever run, and I really feel like it's a very strong event now, and I want to talk about some of the ways that you can target this event and how you might be tempted to not do it one way or the other. For those who are unfamiliar with the event, we are a couple days into it. And as you can see by the event structure, we right now are doing a trick or treat faction hunt, which is giving us a certain amount, and then we have a trick or treat AMS. Now the AMS has already rewarded many of you with 1 frame, which I will say the frame looks great, and now you're going after an avatar. And then you've got these trick or treats here where we did faction hunt today and we earned 1,000. Now you'll also notice in your store that depending on where you're at, and I haven't sent in this one yet, that you've earned 335 as well as 1,000. Now you will be able to spend all your gummies. That was something key that we asked about earlier, but then the question becomes, how do you spend them? Now one thing that you have to note is it will vary based on your level. What is the more fortuitous route for you to go? Which then makes it difficult for your alliance because it's also alliance based. Like, you know, your alliance is wondering, well, what is the best route for us to go as a group? And we'll go over the math and the numbers and the giggly over there. We'll do that. For now, let's focus on what it would be for me at level 39, which is a very relatable position for a lot of players. Now, what you're going to get if you were to choose to eat the gummies will vary. So it would cost you 1,000 to eat these gummies, and I would get 1150 faction credits. Then the rep and the negative rep for the corresponding faction. I don't really care about the rep. The rep doesn't matter to me. We're getting gummies for all 3 types, assuming you're actually going out and grinding them all like I did. Then you have the share the gummies option, which shares it with your alliance, giving you rep, losing you rep, but then also giving an alliance gift of recruit tokens and federation credits and only giving you 25 of each. So obviously you're getting way less if you share in terms of what you immediately get in the return. And then your final option, which is tempting for so many players out there now, and I understand if people go after this one, that is going after independent credits. We have so many officers that require these, whether it is the Borg officers, a long list of Borg officers that we have out now, and maybe even more coming soon. And then we've got all the augment officers, the mud officers. There's a lot of officers that are requiring independent credits. So if people went this route, I really couldn't fault them too much. Do I think it's the best route to go? No, I honestly don't. I think that there is a better route, and that is sharing. Now, this will vary. Once again, I'm having to repeat this way too much, but it is going to vary. And I'm just looking at the screen because I'm getting something ready for handing down the calculator here in a second. But it is going to vary based on your level. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to bust out the calculator and say, look, mine was what, 1150? So if I had 1150, that's my goal. That's what I need to reach in terms of being efficient. So I need somebody that is going to give me a minimum of that. So if I divide that by 25, that means I need a minimum of 46 people in my alliance so that I break even at my level. For me to break even, I need 46 people to share their tardigrade gummies. 46 people. Now for me, that's actually not that difficult. I'm currently in an alliance of 72. It was 74. Where did y'all go? Come back to me, Cotton Eye Joe. So I'm going to re-pull here. There's 125 Federation right there. And I've been getting these throughout the day as people complete theirs. If you share and you had 72 to share, well, let's bust out the math. Let's say that my 72 shared times 25, I'm getting 1,800. Getting about 700 more faction credits than I would have if everybody is sharing. Now, one thing you'll also notice on here is there is a limit to how much you can actually share. And what I mean by that is if you go to the event store and you're sitting here looking, you'll look at the top. Share limit 2. but redeem limit 7, definitely implying that we can do more, as well as there's a pack to purchase in the store if you wanted to purchase the pack. Now, don't believe you're free to play probably going to get 7 full pulls of the gummies, but you probably will get at least 3, meaning that if you shared 2 and still were greedy and got the independent credits, you still get 300 independent credits. Or, as some people have recommended, maybe only sharing 2 factions and then going full on in terms of the independent credits on another faction. So what I could be doing there is say, hey, I'm going to tell my alliance, I'm going to share my Klingon, I'm going to share my Romulan gummies, but I'm going to keep all my Federation gummies because I want to get over 1,000 independent credits in total. There's a lot of ways to do this, but what it takes is good communication with your group and your system to know what benefits everybody. Me personally, as a content creator, I feel like I'm kind of obligated. Share it out, give it out to everybody, and help everybody grow. But I mean, I also need independent credits. I don't even have 10,000 independent credits at the moment, so I'm kind of held back. I've got to make sure that I can reach those so that I can then get that level of goody goodies. Let's back out here. Now, because I've done my limit 2, I've done it 2 days in a row now. These should disappear. You see the share Romulan is already gone. I'm sure these will disappear as well. But now I'm left with the only option is to eat or sell my gummy. And it's going to be dependent on what I get in terms of the remaining events. Now, if you remember, if we come into our news station, they did lay out how often these events are going to happen for Trick or Treat, which is the longest we really run Trick or Treat. So right now is the 27th. We had the first AMS there. We're already past that. We've got Trick or Treat for the Federation. You see the days it's running, 25th, 27th, 29th, 21st. So we have 2 more faction hunts that we're going to do. And if we get 1,000 per, that means 2 more times that we get to decide, hey, we can eat. We can be selfish. We can be selfish in those because we can go after our credits then. So if you share twice, which is the limit anyway, I think everybody should hit the limit, then everybody's going to make a profit. And then if you spent the other 2 on going after the independent credits, I think that's probably the sweet spot. But let's look at the rest of the events. You've got the Armada event, the 48-hour long one. You got another one coming up the day before Halloween, so All Hallows Eve. And then you've got, as we scroll down, the 29th, we got an Alliance leaderboard. You're strong, but there's much more to grow. Work with your alliance to gain more power, upgrading station defenses, research the buildings while acquiring gummies. That's interesting. And then, of course, the refit, which starts in 2 days. Is this the ISS Jelly refit that we all know and love, the Constellation, or is it something brand new in the game that we haven't seen? I'm assuming it's the one that I have and the one that I've shown y'all, but who knows? And then we have the Seek or Destroy. Ghouls and goblins are out causing havoc. Defeat hostiles in any system to score. And this is for levels 10 through 17 and 10 through 20, as well as up at the tops. We have stuff for everybody else. The Constellation refit can only be equipped to the, they actually listed it now. It wasn't listed before. Thank you for listening. To the ISS Jellyfish. And for those who are curious what that refit looks like, well, luckily there's a content creator who ground out really hard and won that leaderboard and has it to show off to you. Here is the USS Constellation refit. It is beautiful and it does really help, especially when you're doing things like soul trader grinding and things like that. It really will give you a nice boost to what you're doing to make the game easier for hostile grinding. So it's definitely liked and appreciated by this content creator and hopefully by you as well. Let's jump real quick right back in. So like I said, the tactic for the faction hunt, share twice. Once you're out of shares, then be selfish on those independent credits, but don't leave out your alliance. Think about everybody. The whole thing of the holidays is about sharing. It's not the last time you'll be able to have some fun stuff and get event stores. Don't feel too greedy. There's event stores coming. So, yeah, watch out for that. And then we've got our, like I said, Armadas, mining, which, on the mining. We start mining tomorrow. Be prepared, everybody. Here gonna be mining for more gummies. Oh, gosh. Stockpiling gummies to spend them. And then here we go. And I think DJ even mentioned something about saving gummies. Something about that. Anyway, those are your events, and that is the current layout of the format. And as always, I'm going to always encourage going and benefiting and sharing the entire alliance as a whole. Is it the only way to go about it? It's not, and I'm not trying to tell you that it is, but I think it's the best way because, well, sharing is caring. Now, if you're a very high level player, some of those have noticed that, they would need about 90 people to share to get some of the levels that they need. 75, 80 people to share, and that's really difficult. So I understand if they get greedy, but think about it this way. If you're that high level, you're probably a spender. Help out the people who aren't spending. Help out the free to play. because this is one of those things that can really help give an infusion to the free-to-play officer sourcing mechanic and upgrade them and help them get ships they weren't normally getting access to. If you look here, just my Federation recruits, I'm up to 20,000, and a lot of that's because of this event giving me so many for my alliance, hitting that share button. But I want to know what you think and your tactic down in the comment section below. As always, live long and prosper. Stay safe, other Space Cowboys. I'll catch you on the next one, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Trick or treat.
I would like to request to Scopely to add more Klingons to the game. That is what I was told to do, and so I am doing it. Which, you know, is not maybe the best thing as a leader to just do what you're told, but it seems like a good request to make to add more Klingons. Everything is better with Klingons, am I right? I am right, because I'm a Klingon. Klingon mach tach judge! We are Klingons, let it remain. All right, Laurel's on a roll today. She's very excited.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.